In the year 108 AD, 5,000 Roman soldiers marched into the mists of northern Britain. The Ninth Spanish Legion, Legio Nona Hispana, Rome's iron fist, veterans who had survived the deserts of Judea, the forests of Germania, and the frozen winters of the frontier. Their mission: crush the rebellious tribes of Caledonia, what we now call Scotland, a land of endless forests, gray skies, and warriors who refused to kneel. They marched north, beyond Hadrian's wall, into enemy territory, disciplined, armed, confident. But something went wrong. 5,000 men vanished without a trace. No messengers returned to tell the tale. No bodies were ever found on any battlefield. No eagles, Rome's most sacred military standards, were ever recovered. An entire legion erased from the pages of history. Did they fall in a secret massacre too shameful for Rome to admit? Did they desert and join the very tribes they were sent to destroy? Or did something darker await them in those ancient woods? Something Rome could never explain. Today, we reopen the Chronos Files to investigate the greatest unsolved mystery of the Roman Empire, the Ghost Legion.
To understand why this disappearance shook Rome to its core, we need to know who these men were. The Ninth Spanish Legion, Legio Nona Hispana, was forged in battle over a century before their vanishing. Born during the brutal Cantabrian Wars in Hispania around 25 BC, they became one of Rome's most elite fighting forces. In the year 43 AD, they were among the legions chosen to invade Britain under Emperor Claudius. For decades, they fought to subdue the island's fierce tribes. But their greatest test came in the year 60 AD, when Queen Boudica led a massive revolt that nearly drove Rome out of Britain entirely. The Ninth was ambushed, thousands were slaughtered, but they survived, they rebuilt, and they earned a reputation as unkillable. By the early 2nd century, the Ninth was stationed at Eboracum, modern-day York, on the edge of Roman-controlled territory. To the north lay Caledonia, a land of mist-covered mountains, endless forests, and tribes that Rome had never fully conquered. These weren't just warriors, they were something worse. The Caledonians, ancestors of the Picts, were masters of guerrilla warfare. They knew every hill, every pass, every ambush point, and they despised Rome. Sometime around the year 100 to 120 AD, the Ninth received their orders: march north, crush the rebellion, secure the frontier. 5,000 disciplined soldiers, the finest armor and weapons Rome could provide, and the aquila, the sacred golden eagle standard. To a Roman legionary, the eagle was divine. Losing it meant eternal shame. The Ninth marched beyond the frontier, into enemy territory, carrying the pride of Rome on their shoulders. They never came back. No battle was ever recorded, no mass grave was ever found. The eagle, symbol of their soul, vanished with them. An entire legion, erased as if they had marched into another world. For 2,000 years, historians have searched for answers. What happened to the Ninth Legion? The trail is ice cold. No battlefield, no bones, no records of their fate. But over the centuries, 3 theories have emerged, 3 possible explanations for one of history's greatest disappearances. Theory 1: the massacre in the mist. This is the most famous and the most brutal. Picture this: 5,000 Romans marching in perfect formation through the Scottish Highlands. The terrain is a nightmare: narrow mountain passes, endless forests, treacherous bogs hidden beneath the heather. The Caledonians knew every inch of this land. The Romans didn't.
Some historians believe the ninth was lured into a trap, a coordinated ambush involving thousands of tribal warriors. In the chaos of close-quarters forest fighting, Roman discipline meant nothing. Shields couldn't form, lines couldn't hold. The legion was torn apart, man by man, in the mist and mud. In this version of history, the bodies were left to rot in unmarked graves scattered across the Highlands. And the golden eagles melted down as trophies, symbols of Rome's greatest humiliation. But here's the problem. No mass grave has ever been found, not a single one. And the Romans were obsessed with recovering fallen soldiers and their standards. Which brings us to theory 2. What if the ninth didn't die at all? In recent decades, archaeologists made a strange discovery. Tiles and bricks stamped with the 9th Legion seal have been found in the Netherlands and along the Rhine River in Germany, dated after their supposed disappearance in Britain. Could the 9th have been quietly transferred to another frontier, pulled out of Britain without fanfare, and sent to fight Germanic tribes instead? It's possible. Legions were moved all the time. But then why is there no official record of their transfer? Why does their name simply stop appearing in Roman documents after 120 AD? And why would Rome abandon Britain's northern frontier just when it needed defending most? Unless something happened, something so catastrophic that Rome wanted to bury it entirely. Theory 3, the forbidden truth. This is the darkest possibility, the one that makes historians uncomfortable. What if the 9th didn't lose to the Caledonians in battle? What if they lost their honor? Some researchers suggest the 9th may have suffered a defeat so humiliating, a mass surrender, a cowardly retreat, or even desertion, that Rome decided to erase them from history entirely. Not just their records, their memory. It sounds extreme, but Rome had done it before. Legions that disgraced themselves were sometimes disbanded, their soldiers scattered, their eagles destroyed, their numbers never used again. The 9th's number, IX, was never assigned to another legion after their disappearance. Was that out of respect or out of shame? The truth is, we still don't know. Each theory has evidence, each theory has gaps, but one thing is certain: 5,000 men don't just vanish by accident. Something happened in the mists of Caledonia, something Rome never wanted us to find out.
Perhaps the most telling clue to the 9th fate isn't written in any book, it's carved into the landscape itself. In the year 122 AD, Emperor Hadrian arrived in Britain, and what he did next revealed everything about Rome's failure in the north. He ordered the construction of a wall, not a wooden fence, not a temporary border, a 73-mile-long stone barrier stretching from coast to coast across the entire island. Hadrian's wall wasn't built to celebrate victory. It was built to contain defeat. You don't spend years building a permanent stone fortress unless you've accepted that the land beyond it will never be yours. The wall was an admission. Rome could not conquer Caledonia. And the 9th? Their name never appears in the records again after this time. Some historians believe the wall was Rome's answer to whatever catastrophe befell the legion, a way to ensure it would never happen again. The 9th marched north to expand the empire. Instead, they became the reason Rome built a wall to keep the north out forever.
5,000 men, one golden eagle, and a silence that has lasted for nearly 2,000 years. The 9th Spanish Legion walked into the mists of Caledonia as Rome's finest warriors. They never came back. We've explored the theories, the massacre, the secret transfer, the disgrace. But the truth is,
we may never know what really happened in those dark forests. And perhaps that's what makes this mystery so haunting. The Ninth didn't just disappear, they became a ghost story that Rome itself couldn't escape. After they vanished, the empire stopped trying to conquer Scotland. The northern frontier became a stone wall, a permanent admission that some lands were beyond Rome's reach. The Ninth became legend, a cautionary tale whispered among soldiers, a reminder that even the greatest armies can be swallowed by history. Centuries later, archaeologists still search the Scottish Highlands, hoping to find the mass grave or the golden eagle that would finally solve the riddle. But the ground keeps its secrets. 5,000 soldiers marched into myth, and as long as we keep asking what happened to them, they'll never truly be forgotten. The story of the Ninth Legion isn't just about what we lost, it's about what refuses to stay buried. This has been another entry in the Chronos Files. But what do you think? Did the Ninth fall to a hidden enemy, or were they victims of a political cover-up? Let us know your theories in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey into the shadows of the past, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more unsolved history. The files are always open. Until next time.